Welcome back to another episode of Truth Control. My name is Quentin,
And I'm Jessie.
and in this episode we're going to be talking to you about religion.
And what about religion do you want to discuss today?
There's a lot to talk about when it comes to religion, so
I guess I will start off a little bit with just got done reading Anita Moorjani's Dying to Be Me. This is like my second, third time around reading this book. She goes into the religion part of it where she says that maybe culturally we are brought up to, take on any religion, be it Christianity, Catholicism, whatever religion you take. But in reality, religion has nothing to do with anything because we're all spiritual automatically. We don't have to practice being spiritual because we already are spiritual, being spiritual beings. And maybe it's a stepping stone to something bigger. But I think religion, in the way that it's expressed nowadays, it's just gotten too out of hand where people just think that, you have to live a certain way or certain religion in order for you to be saved from whatever you need to be saved,
and the main thing with religion is it's man-made. Religion is an invention that man-made. It's not something that God created. God is too big for any one religion.
And because we're all God, though.
Yeah.
We're all part of that oneness, that connection.
So, all I see religion as, it's more philosophy. It's more, it's a type of tool for us to use to understand things. It can be helpful if we need it. There's a lot of good in most religions that teach people on how to be more spiritual and how to be positive and things like that, which are good. There's a lot of that in religion, but then there's also a lot of things that aren't as necessary that people might get attached to. They might start believing and it might kind of keep them from being spiritual. So you have to kind of weigh religion to see whether it's actually helping you or hurting you, because in a lot of cases I think it does a lot of damage to people too.
In the sense that I think it does damage is when you kind of become psychotic on one certain religion. I know I have a few friends, family members that are, into the Christian religion. And it's just so crazy because they talk about how if you're not from the religion, you're not going to be saved. And, you won't be one of those chosen ones that when Jesus comes back. And my discussions with them are just merely discussions where I end them because I could go on and they will just never see my side of anything. They just think it's the devil and God, and that good is God and bad is the devil. And anything that they don't agree with, like with women in their case, putting too much makeup, God is going to punish them. That's what their religion tells them. They can't shave their legs because God doesn't permit that. And it's like, it's kind of sad in a way because they don't understand what their religion is putting on them. Instead of letting them be free of religion, they're being held down to not live their full potential. And it's interesting
because, at the core, in a way, religion is supposed to make us free. It's supposed to
it's like a stepping stone.
Yeah, but in a way, a lot of people use it for their own enslavement.
Exactly.
They'll use it to actually restrict themselves
and control.
Say, I can't do this or I can't do that
because my religion doesn't allow me.
Yeah, rather than it opening them up, it restricts them in.
Exactly, and that's kind of like, it's hard to kind of, I guess. When I was younger, I was restricted by it because I felt like the wrath of God, I guess you could say. But then as I got older and I understood that I'd rather be free and able to understand things.
And I would say too, I think it is in a lot of ways a good thing too, how religion has that aspect in certain ways. Like for kids, for instance, or you do want to teach them kind of certain guidelines on things. You don't want them to just do whatever they want and just get in trouble, do these things, not care about, other people, that kind of thing. There are certain
But I don't think it has to be based on religion, though. Sure. I think it's supposed to be more on discipline.
Right.
Because I think if you come from a loving home and you show your kids love, then your kids are gonna be loving. If you come from a home where they're always fighting and there's hatred and there's anger, your kid is gonna grow up to be that way.
Sure.
I mean,
I'm just saying how I think religion kind of is that starting point where it kind of shows you like a rudimentary approach to kind of what to do in life, I guess. But then at some point you have to now realize that you've learned those things from religion and it's time to move past them, which most people don't do.
Well, and that's a sad thing though, because religion usually wants, like, your parents per se, anybody's parents that are Christian, Catholic, or whatever, like in my case, my grandmother would scare us with her Christian tactics. And it was kind of sad because, you know, as you get older and you realize, I mean, I don't believe in the hateful God that I was taught to believe in.
Right.
And I mean, I believe in everlasting love and that everything is conquered through love. And you know what, and not the cliche love thing where, oh, the boy, the girl fall in love. I believe more in that you give love to get love in anything and anyone, in every little thing, even like in a mosquito or in a thing like that. You go out, you see trees, you're sending out love and they're giving out love because everything really is conspiring and working towards the same. You know, we're in the same universe. Whereas religion, when parents start using religion as a control tactic, they don't get off that high. They continue on that high and they continue holding off people, their children, and like, oh, well, you know, I don't like this and you have to do it this way because, you know what, our religion doesn't permit us. As in our Needham or Johnny's, her dad was a very strict, very Hindu type person that wanted to restrict her. And after she had her near-death experience, that she met up with him again, you know, the dad let her know that, you know, it's all love and that everything that he made her do or talked about in the physical form was his problem, his lesson that he needed to learn, as it was in the control issue. Like, he wanted to control her. Oh, you have to marry into like a family, and the man that we choose for you, you need to marry because that's what our religion says. And that's kind of sad in a way because you're being held down to beliefs that you really don't believe. So you're not being your true self, so you're lying to yourself.
Another interesting thing about religion is how most religions are related for the most part, and they kind of have a common ancestry and source. Like, obviously you have the LDS Church, Mormons, that are tied to Christianity. You have, you know, Watchtower Society, the Jehovah's Witnesses that are tied to Christianity. You have the Protestants, the Catholics that were both, well, the Protestants came out of Catholicism, where the Catholics were, you know, the early Christianity. And you have all these things tied to Christianity, and then Christianity comes out of Judaism, but you also have Islam coming out of Judaism. So you have all these kind of interrelated things. At least that's kind of more of the Abrahamic religions. And then you have more Hindus and those, but those still come from people that went out of the Mesopotamian area, which was from Judah and those places. They went from those to India and two of those other places. You have all these religions that are essentially linked to this common source from Mesopotamia, and even actually probably before that, if you were to really take it further. But it's just interesting how they all are interconnected in certain ways, and certain areas, like Eastern people, they more have a they have kind of like more of a reincarnation oriented, more
spiritual,
nirvana, more kind of in a way, more spiritual like that way, where the Western are more kind of like historical, more like authoritarian, more obviously like they monotheism, even though they're not monotheistic, they're henotheistic, where they know there's multiple gods, but they chose one God. But anyway, they have more that type of approach, where the Eastern are more kind of open to multiple gods and that type of thing. But it's just interesting because they all do share a common ancestry, but just based on whatever culture adopted these ancient kind of teachings, that's kind of the form that those religions took. So if you actually, the view I try to take is I try to be every religion. I just try to take
something from
pieces from all of them because I think they all have value in them.
And I mean, it all comes down to the same spiritual message that you're getting from each and every one.
Yeah.
It all leads to a God, and I think it all leads to you becoming better in your higher self to you becoming better in every which way that you can. And it all points to the same thing. I think that there's a lot of religions that kind of say that you have to take certain steps, as in being a Catholic, you have to be baptized, you have to be confirmed, and and you have to make your first communion. And it's crazy because I was baptized, and then I had to do my first communion, and then at the confirmation I stopped, and I'm like, I didn't believe at that age anymore that I needed to be confirmed, because I just didn't see any value to any of that anymore. And to me it was like, it's like I was free at that point, even though my mom and my grandmother were like, oh, well, you have to be confirmed, if not, you're gonna go to hell. It was just something that was, I did not believe in it anymore.
Yeah. And those are the damaging aspects
where
people, I guess it gets damaging when people, they lose the spiritual value from it, and then they replace it with kind of, I guess, like I don't know, they get like, they lose the meaning of why they do things, and they just do it without understanding why they do it, and they might be doing something that's totally out of context or totally not necessary for what they're doing.
Because in my way of seeing it, I thought like my mom and my grandmother were followers. Just because others were doing it and everybody told them that they needed to do it, then they were putting that on their kids. And then, oh, well, you have to confirm this person. You have to, confirm. My confirmation was for what? Confirm that I'm existing at this moment.
I know.
And it was just very crazy for me because, like in the Christian religion, my other grandmother, you had to be baptized in water. And after you got baptized, you literally had to live in fear of whatever you did, because that's the way that they were. I mean, you couldn't even cross the street without looking a certain way, because then you were, and I'm just exaggerating at this point, but you couldn't look anyway because, oh, God's going to punish you if you do this, or God's going to do this, or God's going to do that to you. And so I guess religion, I mean, I've read up on every religion. I've taken a lot of theology classes and so forth. And they're all very interesting because, like I was telling you, I want to go to one of those Mennonite churches,
right,
which is a religion of the Mennonites. And I want to see how they express themselves in the religion aspect of it. And for a class, I had to go to different, fellowships and different churches like that. Paramahansa Yogananda's fellowship,
right,
where they do a lot of meditation. And I mean, I've taken something from everything, and I've taken lessons from all of them. Even because they say that the first religion was Gnosticism, right? Well, that it was even before Catholics and things like that. Gnosticism was supposedly the religion of all religions.
And then from my understanding, before that you have Druidism, which actually came from Britain and obviously Ireland and those areas. But that's a kind of a different discussion. But yeah, but Gnosticism's very similar to Druidism and those types of things. They have their similarities.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah, and Gnosticism's kind of like a more esoteric Christianity,
correct,
where Christianity kind of in a way perverted those Gnostic type teachings.
Yeah, and they said that religion got lost in a way in those, and I think it's lost again.
And again, that brings up obviously another big topic: the religion as a control mechanism, where you have kind of these Gnostics and these people. This was back over in I guess right out of
BC.
Yeah, right out of Egypt was kind of falling, and then Rome was kind of on its way up. You have these Roman people now that they know they want to kind of control people, and they want to find a way to unite them together so they can get them kind of under their control. They took elements from obviously lots of different religions, and they created Catholicism, because Catholic means universal. So they created a universal religion, and it obviously has good in it, but it has good in the way that's under what they want to control people. So they use good to control people. So it's kind of I don't know, it's kind of in a way like Lucifer, like using light in a bad way. Like they're using good to control you. So, it's obviously not that black and white, but obviously a lot of the people behind religion, like the Catholic Church and others, they there's people in there who know that they're using it to manipulate you and to manipulate the human family in general.
And again, these are just our
Yeah,
viewpoints after
it is.
studying
It
so
is.
many things and you know and going over things and you know reading over. How many books have I read?
Yeah, lots.
I mean,
But-
it's just after reading so much and just researching and you know, but again, if religion feels good for you, then that's
Yeah.
your choice.
And I think there's different stages for people. Not everybody is at like a stage where they're outside of religion. Maybe it could be good for people because that's what they need at that time. And then at a certain point, which it happens to a lot of religious people, they start to go like, oh, I don't really go to church anymore. I'm kind of past that. I don't get much out of it anymore. They kind of walk away from religion and just become more themselves, which I think is pretty healthy because that's kind of it's a progression, I think.
Yeah, it's a progression to anything. I mean, once in a while, I still like to go to my church, Unity, just because it's just I love the power, I guess, in like the same way of thinking, the power of that energy. That's everybody is in the same boat, and for some reason you feel electrified because all that energy, all those people there are just thinking the same way you are. So it kind of like makes you feel kind of I don't know if euphoric would be the name for it, but it just makes you feel like at such a point that you're like a little bit more powerful and your energy just
Right.
I mean it just goes up and I love that feeling. I don't do it as much as I used to do it, but I really do still enjoy going to what I call my church.
And my take on that is with church in general is like a lot of people kind of think you have to go to church.
Oh, I don't
otherwise-
think like that though.
Right. No, I know. So like, cause yeah, church is just one way to, I guess, kind of grow or to enjoy yourself or anything like that. But you don't obviously have to go to church to be spiritual. You don't
Correct.
have to go to church to learn things. There's tons of other ways to get things. So if church isn't your thing, then it doesn't need to be.
And I'll go back to Anita Morjani's book, Dying to Be Me. She talks about that. We're already spiritual. Each and every one of us doesn't have to study anything because we're spiritual beings. We don't even have to study anything because we're automatically that. What we have to understand is that this is a physical form and it's an illusion. And a lot of times we're living for this body. We're giving it all of its value when your value really is in your spiritual self. And when you go internally, and you really don't need any religion to tell you how or who you're going to be because you already know who you are. Except that you have a purpose and then your calling is something
and that's kind of like the bottom line is that it's all just a personal journey. Each one of us has our own individual free will and our own individual tasks and things that we want to do. So it's each one of us is our own religion. We're all our own internal thing. We don't need to abide by other man-made religions. We can take pieces, we can be inspired, all that, but at the end of the day, each one of us is on our own personal journey for our own individual reasons. So,
and for our own growth because we're all creators and we're creating our own religion, I guess you could say. We're creating our own lives. We're creating everything at the moment by sending out one thought out there. Just like if we want to create peace, send out a peaceful thought instead of sending out a hateful thought. When you're watching the news, when you're watching things out there, our automatic response is to send out more negative vibes instead of enjoying how beautiful life really is. So I guess we'll close out religion by saying that to each their own.
yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that.
And don't forget, I am that I am, and you are who you are. And with that, we'll say goodbye on our religion part.
Please.
Don't forget to visit peacebeblessed.com for your daily inspirations.
Yep. And truthcontrol.com if you're into these kind of topics. And also, please
If you have any topic that you would want us to talk about, please contact us via truthcontrol.com or peacebeblessed.com. And again, no offense to anyone on religion. If you're religious and you think religion is the right step for you, then more power to you. So peace be blessed.
Take care, everyone. Bye.